Hi, my name is Alisa and I would like to show you my collection of coral and give you some tips for identifying red Mediterranean coral. So all the items I have right now over here are made from Corallium rubrum. So that's what we think when we talk about coral, the red coral. Although there's some other types, and it is very difficult to begin. When I just began my collection, I didn't know what to start because there's a lot of imitations, there's a lot of fake coral. And despite this material was popular for thousands and thousands of years, it's not that many tips how to actually identify the real coral. So the Mediterranean coral can be with very, very wide range of colors, starting from very, very pale peach and to almost tomato red. The red specimens will be much more valuable than the pale ones. And it's very, very rare you can see Mediterranean coral in the pink color. So if you see the pink color, not a salmon orangish, it's likely to be a different type of coral, which can be also valuable, but we'll speak about it later. So let me begin to show you how actually to identify the coral. So the key to identify Corallium rubrum will be looking at the grain the beads have. All the coral beads will have a tiny, tiny structure of the lines that are as small as the fingerprints lines. And compared to that, items made from plastic or glass not gonna have them. So here are a lot of tips of how you can identify. You can soak it in vinegar. I do not recommend any test like this for your corals. It's much more easy to identify plastic by its lightweight and lack of grain, although this is a very good imitation of the coral, so I just even purchased it as a real one. But as you see, it doesn't have grain, it's a warm to touch, and it's very, very light, so it is plastic. So the glass one, I unfortunately don't have an example over here, but the glass is gonna be heavy and cold to touch, probably heavier and colder to touch than the real coral, but it's not gonna have any grain in it. So, and another very popular imitation of the coral is dyed bamboo corals. So with these ones, everything is not easy, because if you're gonna soak it in the vinegar, as they're made from calcium carbonate, it is a real coral, but it is not a valuable type because it has been dyed, and there's a lot of this material. So if you look at it, it's also gonna have some grain, but the grains are gonna be much, much bigger and seen with the naked eye compared to the real coral, which is the grains will be much, much finer. And it's gonna have these white spots, which is the center of the coral, which didn't get dyed. It will have the places where the dye leaked inside of the coral bead, so you can see that the dye was not evenly distributed. So there's another type of the coral, Plevra Corallium elateus, which is commonly called momo, which will resemble this type. It will have these white spots, but we'll speak about it in next video.